Hello YouTube, my name is Nosheen and welcome to Nosheen at Home. We are a whole week into 2026 and I don't know about you, but I feel optimistic about this year. I feel like 2026 is going to be a better year than 2025 and I know the bar is on the floor, but I'm feeling cautiously optimistic and I feel like I've had a good start to this year. One of the trends that I'm really excited about this year that I'm seeing all over social media is this concept of an analog bag. I think it was a creator named Cease Campbell on TikTok that came up with the name. But it's basically just a rebranding of a house purse or a hobby tote, basically just a bag that you would not really take out, but just carry around the house that's full of different analog hobbies. And the idea is that instead of constantly reaching for your phone, you might reach for something in this bag instead. I love this concept, so of course I had to put together my own analog bag, which I'm really excited to share with you today. I have this little tote bag. It's actually quite small and I'm surprised at how much fit inside of it. You can use any bag, obviously. It can be small or large depending on how much stuff you want to carry. I just knew that I didn't want to carry a large bag around. Like realistically, I wasn't going to lug a large bag around with me. But the idea, I'm hoping, is that I will literally take this bag with me no matter what room I'm in. So if I'm in my office, I'll have it. If I'm downstairs in the living room, if I'm in my bedroom hanging out, I will just like have this bag conveniently next to me so that every time I'm tempted to reach for my phone and doom scroll, I might instead reach in here and do some of these analog activities. So I just did a little, decorating. I just put a little bag charm on here. And the first thing I have in this front pocket are these little, what do you even call these sticky notes? They're like for annotating, like page markers, I think they're called. They're little page marker stickies. And I will show you what I do with these in a second. But I just have those with an easy reach in the front pocket. Then I have a pencil, a mechanical pencil, because I realized if I put like a regular pencil in here, like it's gonna get like lead all over the bag, which I didn't want to do. So I'm putting a mechanical pencil in here. And then I have a pen. This one is a Zebra Sarasa Grand pen, which I filled with 0.5 millimeter gel ink refill. That's like a quick drying gel ink, which is nice because sometimes I like to highlight over what I write. And this like is less likely to smear. So that's all that's in the front pocket. There are no pockets in the back. It just looks like this in the back. It did come with like a strap, like a shoulder strap that I removed because I don't really need it and I didn't like it hanging around. So I took that off. Let me show you everything that fit inside. So I'm actually really surprised at how much stuff I was able to get in here, given that it is a very small bag. And as you can see, it fit pretty comfortably. There are like 3 main compartments. There's this big compartment here, and then there's a smaller one here, and then a medium-sized one here. And there's also like some little pockets that I didn't really use. There's like a little pocket there, and there's a little pocket here. So if you wanted to tuck some more pens or stickers or little things, there are more pockets that I haven't used yet. But you know, I may end up putting things in here later. I just set up this bag, so it's very minimalist right now. So let me show you what all is in here. The first thing is my 2026 planner. So let's make some space. Bear with me. Just trying to make sure you guys can actually see. So this is the Hobonichi Han A5, which is just like their Hobonichi cousin, but a hardcover edition. And I got mine in the Liberty Fabrics print, the Sasha Curie print that I just absolutely loved. I am really enjoying this planner so far. I was in a Filofax for the last couple of years, which I absolutely loved, but I just needed a change. And I hadn't been in a Hobonichi cousin for like 3 or 4 years. And so I was really excited to get back into it, but I decided to go with the Han because I really loved the hardcover design, and I especially really loved this Liberty Fabrics print with a little bit of gold etching on it. I did put the clear plastic cover over it, even though I don't love the texture of the plastic, but I just wanted to protect the fabric because I'm the kind of person that would totally spill coffee on this and ruin it. So, and the fabric is so beautiful. And I just want this to be kind of a keepsake of my year. I want this to be something that sits on my shelf in the future and like, oh, so this is what my 2026 was like. And it's just so joyful to have like a brand new planner. Um, it's just like, I don't know. I always feel so excited at the beginning of the year when it's just like a brand new blank planner. And like the whole year just feels like full of possibilities. So I'm not really going to do like a flip through because there's so much personal stuff in here. Let me see if I can show you like my first spread of the year or something. I could probably show you that because I don't think that's too personal. Just to give you an idea of like how I'm using this planner. So I did my little mood board for January on the first page, which is like hygge is kind of my January theme, like hygge, the Danish concept of hygge, and just being cozy in the winter, slowing down, just like not trying to do too much, and just basically being in tune with nature. Like nature has slowed down, so I should too. And this is like my first entry for 2026, January 1st. So really enjoying the Hobonichi again. And I'm not finding it difficult to fill up the page. Like I just feel like I have a lot to say, and I can always put in some stickers and washi's to fill up the rest of the space. So I really hope I stick with it. I have in the past, whenever I've had a Hobonichi cousin, I have been pretty good about writing in it every day. There's just something so great about the writing experience on this paper, and it just looks so gorgeous that I don't find it that hard to fill these out. The weeklies I've had mixed results with, but this is going to be my all-in-one planner this year, so my whole life is going to be planned out on these pages, and I hope that I'm able to stick with it throughout the year. So yeah, but I just feel like having this in my analog bag is going to be so great because I'm just always going to know what's going on in my life. If I think of something that I need to do, something to add to my to-do list, the planner is right there. I have no excuse not to write it down. So that's the first thing in the bag. The second thing is to go with it is this gorgeous Hobonichi, I think they call it the small drawer pouch. It's basically a pencil pouch, and it is in the exact same fabric, the Liberty Fabrics Sasha Kiore print. I just really fell in love with this pattern that they had for 2026. I don't always love the Liberty Fabrics patterns that they do, but this year I just really enjoyed the pink and blue flowers. It's just so dainty and very feminine and cute. So I got the pencil pouch, and I just have some random little bits and pieces in here to help me with my my journaling and my planning. So I have this little sticker book of winter-themed stickers that are not Christmas-themed, which is harder than you think to find, like winter stickers that are not Christmassy. So just random winter scenes. Just thought that would be kind of January appropriate, kind of cute. And then I just have a little card of washi tapes. I need to put more stuff on here. I've been using up a lot of it. Just some little washi tapes. I have a ruler because I like to draw straight lines in my planner. And then in here, I have whiteout. I love this Tombow whiteout. It actually works really well on the Hobonichi because it's like the same color and it's like small enough for the grid size on the Hobonichi. So this has been really useful because I do tend to make a lot of mistakes when I'm writing quickly. I have a few of these Zebra mild liners that I like to use, especially when I'm doing my weekly pages. Sometimes I like to time block with different colors representing different things that I'm doing. Like appointments in one color, maybe chores in another color, like kid-related stuff in another color. So that's been really good. And then I just have a pair of tweezers to help me apply stickers. So there's not a lot in here right now, but again, it's early in the year, so I'm still figuring out what all I need. But basically, I just wanted to have like the basic supplies that I need to plan, just all in one place, really organized and like right next to my planner, so that I'm more likely to use them. So this is the cutest thing. I'm really happy that I bought this. I was on the fence about it because it is kind of expensive for a pencil pouch, but like, oh, the fabric is so beautiful and it's so fun to have a matching set. It's just so cute. I get so excited about planning in my planner because it's so cute. Okay, what's next? So I have in here a book. So I watched Guillermo, am I saying that right? Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix last month. It was so good. It was so good. If you guys haven't seen it, it was so good. I was so skeptical when they cast Jacob Elordi as the creature. I was like, no way. He was so good. He was so good. And so I was like, I haven't read Frankenstein since high school. I literally read this book when I was 16 and I hadn't read it since. And I really wanted to reread it as an adult because, I'm sure having more life experience, I would, be able to do a more in-depth reading of this book than I did when I was 16. And so I decided to annotate the book, which is, I had mentioned like I have these little page markers. That's what I've been using them for. So I did an index, and actually this index, it kind of developed as I was reading the book. So as I was reading, I was like coming across these recurring themes in the book. And so each time I would find a theme that I wanted to make note of, I would like pick a color for it and kind of index it here. And so you have like this little index of the different themes. So like, for example, need for companionship, ambition, man conquering nature, self-awareness, death, decay, grief, right? Creation. Like these are just different themes that are in the novel. And then as I was reading, I was just kind of underlining passages that kind of spoke to me and figuring out, what the theme was for that. So, and I'm just using pencil. But as you can see, I'm almost done with the book, and I really annotated it, which is something I never do with my books. I'm not really usually a person that annotates, but ooh, and I dropped my camera. I don't know, I've just been seeing a lot of people do this on social media, and I'm so precious about my books because I don't want to like write in pen inside of my books. So I've just been doing it with pencil, but obviously I see people who use highlighters and highlighters and pens and stuff, but I've just kind of been underlying with pencil and using these page markers to pick up on different themes. So I can't wait to finish this book. I only have a few chapters left, but this is something that it's one of my goals for 2026 is to do more critical reading, more, in-depth reading, instead of just reading at a superficial level just to get through the book, to really sit with it and process what I'm reading. And I think, annotating like this forces you to do that. And it's been fun. It's been really fun. So that is one thing that I have in my planner. What else do I have in here? So, okay, so then I have one more like journal notebook thing. I have a Pocket Traveler's Notebook. I've had this one for a while now. This is like my favorite. I really love the brown leather. Traveler's Company, not pocket, passport size Traveler's Notebook. I have this little charm on it. Traveler's Factory charm. You can see it's well worn. It's got a lot of scratches and things. And I just have two inserts in here. I have this little canvas folder that Traveler's Company makes that has absolutely nothing in it right now, but as the year progresses, I'm sure I'll find little bits and pieces of ephemera that I want to save in here. So I have room for that. And then I just have two inserts in here. Like this one I decorated already. And then this one is still blank. This is just the dot grid. But basically, this is going to be my brain dump. This is going to be my brain dump. And the reason I have two, okay, is because when I first write things down, like it doesn't make any sense. Like my brain is very chaotic. And so I figured this first notebook would be my first draft brain dump, and this would be my second draft brain dump. Does that make sense at all? So basically, yeah, if I think of something that I want to do or an idea that I'm having, I can just jot it down in here, not really care if it makes sense. And then later, if I want to expand on it or follow through on it, I can like refine my idea in a second draft over here. Does that make sense? Is that crazy? I think this could be a really cool concept, and I'm really excited to see if this works out. I have used this notebook as a brain dump in the past, in years past, but I've never done a 2-book system like this. It would just be like the one insert full of my random thoughts. And then later I would go back and look at it and be like, what was I trying to say here? I don't even know what I was thinking. So now it's going to be like first draft, second draft of my downloaded brain. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. I think it'll be fun. I just always love having a little passport size notebook within easy reach. You know, it's just a fun thing to have. I don't know. Also really love the traveler's notebooks. I think it's so funny that leather journals are trending this year. I don't know if you guys have the same like kind of TikTok feed that I do, but my TikTok has been Louise Carmen and Paper Republic notebooks like nonstop. And it's so funny that these leather journals have gone mainstream this year because like they've been around, and obviously Travelers Company has been around for a while. I just think it's kind of cool that like everyone decided to jump on this analog trend this year. I think it's awesome, honestly. I think it's great. The more the merrier. The more people come into this hobby of journaling, I think it's awesome. But yeah, it's funny. Like everyone wants to buy a leather journal this year. So yeah, so this is one of mine, and this is the one I want to put in my analog bag. Okay, next. So you already saw the book. The next thing I have actually is this set of oracle cards, this oracle deck. I have a ton of like oracle and tarot decks, and I don't use them nearly as much as I would like to, probably because I forget that I have them. They like sit on a shelf and I forget that I have them. So I thought, why don't I just put one in this bag that I'm always going to have with me, and then I'm more likely to use them. And so this is the oracle deck from Seasons of the Witch. This is the Yule Oracle, and I know Yule is over, but it's still winter, so this still feels appropriate. It's not that far off from Yule. It's still close enough to the winter solstice, and it's such a beautiful deck, right? And so, you know, if I'm just like bored or in a contemplative mood or whatever, I can just pull a card, right? Read it and think about, you know, the theme or the concept that it wants me to focus on, right? And just, I could journal about it, or I could literally just think about it, right? In relation to my life. And I just think it's a really cool thing to do, right? For a little self-reflection moment. But yeah, you know, and I figure, you know, I can rotate out what decks I keep in the bag. So I thought I would start off with this one since it's still pretty close to Yule. And then as we come into the spring, you know, I'll maybe get a different deck. Again, I have oracle decks, I have tarot decks, I have all kinds of different decks that I just don't use enough because I forget about them. And having one within easy reach just makes sense so that I use them more often. And, you know, it's not like I have to do a whole reading. I can just like pull a card. You know, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. So that's what I have there. And then, we're coming down to the last sort of item. It's two things that are related. So last summer I got into making little beaded bracelets with pony beads. And I did a ton of them over the summer. I was just like, I feel like it's all I did is whenever it was too hot to go outside, I would just like make beaded bracelets. And then I kind of forgot about that hobby. And I was like, wait a minute, I have like a whole bunch of like beads that are sitting in my closet um, that I'm not using. So what if I just made like a mini kit that's like portable? So instead of having to get out like this huge box of beads every time I want to make a bracelet, I just have like a little kit that can be in my analog bag. And I can just make, you know, like when I'm bored and I just want something to do with my hands, I can just make a little bracelet. So I put a bunch of like pink beads in here because I figure, you know, next month is Valentine's Day. And, you know, if I'm bored, I can just make myself a little Valentine's Day bracelet. So I have like the elastic cord here. I have a little pair of scissors. I have a whole bunch of like pink beads, pink and white. There's a few red ones in there. And then in here I keep like some alphabet beads. I have the little gold stars and things. And then I have like these little smiley face ones. Is the camera focusing? Can y'all see that? So yeah, I can just make little pony bead bracelets. Just a very simple hobby that really requires no skill whatsoever and gives me something to do with my hands, you know, while I'm watching TV or whatever. Just thought that would be really neat. So yeah, so that's my little activity. And then let me just put everything back in the bag and show you again how it all fits. I'm, again, really impressed with how everything has fit in here because this is just not that large a bag. But really impressed with the capacity. So let's do, okay. Okay, so again, here is everything. I'll just show you from above. My book, my Hobonichi planner, my pencil pouch, my tarot deck. This and this are both like my bead making supplies, and then this is my little traveler's notebook, right? And then just the random little things here, pen and pencil and some tabs there. And then there's still a little bit of room in here. I don't want to put so much in here that, like, you know, I can't even take stuff out. So I kind of like that there's a little bit of room in here still, but I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this just for size comparison because I also have the Superior Labor Petite Engineer bag, which is where I store all of my traveler's notebooks. So this bag is bigger. It's a little bit taller, a little bit wider. This is an expensive bag, and I wasn't about to buy another one of these. This one is full. I use it for all of my traveler's notebooks and like refills and other related like accessories. I also felt like this bag is a little bit too small to hold the stuff I wanted to hold in my analog bag. So this is just like a cheap tote from like Amazon, you know, but you can use any bag. You can use any tote bag, honestly. But just wanted to show you a size comparison. This is a little bigger, does hold a little bit more. So yeah, super cute. It's actually pretty sturdy for a cheap bag. It's like thick canvas. It seems like it's gonna hold up pretty well. It did get a little heavy with everything in it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this whole concept of an analog bag. I love it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and really interested to hear if you guys are going to try this whole analog bag concept in 2026. Are we all going to try to be a little bit less on our screens, a little bit more into journaling and analog hobbies? I think it's an awesome trend. Like, why not? I think it's a really cool way to start off 2026. And I wish you a really, really wonderful 2026, and stay healthy and safe and happy. And let's try to manifest a really good year. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.